So another case where we today that has asked us to take over their judgment. They had started their own divorce. They had errors on the petition, and I said we have to amend that. We have to make these corrections and kind of start over because the judgment will never go through with the errors you made on the petition. And she laughed at me. She said, "Well, that's not true because the court approved it. The court didn't approve anything. They took your money and stamped your forms, and that's it." And that applies to everything you file up until the time you submit your judgment for review. When you turn in your final settlement agreement and your judgment package and all that remaining paperwork, that's the first time your judgment ever gets pulled. All your paperwork that you previously filed ever gets looked at, and it's looked at from start to finish. When I worked for the courts, I worked back where we would review the judgments. And once we'd get the judgment in, we'd pull their entire file. And we'd start by looking at the petition, summons, make sure the names match. There's a whole checklist we go down to make sure that's all accurate. If there's errors on that, we won't even review the judgment because there's already errors in the petition that are going to cause the judgment to get rejected. So just know that when you hire me to take over your case, I have to look at everything that you filed in advance. Even if you submitted your judgment and already had a reject sheet sent out to you, I'm not going to just correct what's on the reject sheet. I'm going to go back and look at everything because what's going to happen, and what I've told you before, is the courts do a somewhat of a review of your paperwork, find 3 or 4 issues, realize it's a total mess, kick it back for those reasons, and send it back to you. And maybe you correct them, you turn them in. Guess what? I can guarantee you it's going to come back with a whole new list of issues. And that can happen 4 or 5 different times. And that can add, several months to your divorce being finalized.